Hey everyone, welcome back to the last episode. Long way we have come through, and I'll just give you a recap of what we did in the last episode. So, we just changed the user interface of our AI news summarizer, and this is how it looks. So, let's assume if I click on this AI summary, right, nothing happens. So that's what we'll be working on today. So in today's episode, we will be mainly concentrating on adding a AI agent. So we'll be installing a Gemini SDK for that on our system, and we'll be creating a Gemini service, and we'll be writing a summarization API, and we'll connect the summarization API to frontend, and we'll be showing the summary on a page that you were not seeing the summary when I showed a little while ago. So these are the integrations that we'll be working on today. You may think this is a lot, but once we start, right, this looks very simple. AI use case that I've taken is very simple one, to see how exactly it works. Okay, so let's not waste our time. Let's go back to our coding and let us see what is that we'll have to do for today. So what I'll do is I was talking before, right? So first thing is we'll have to install Gemini AI. So let me go ahead and do it. I've done this already, by the way. So once you're done with this, right? So typically what you would see is if you go back to your package.json, you should see the Gemini AI package from Google that is installed already. So I've already installed this. So I'll be moving ahead to the next steps to see the other integrations. So let me do this. So what I'll do next after that installation is, let me create a lib. I was talking about creating an API, right? So let me create a new file called gemini.ts here. So what I would do here is I would put or use my Gemini. Oops, sorry. This is not the one. Okay. So I'll be using Gemini API. So this is what I'm doing over here. I'm taking a env variable, a Gemini key, and okay. So this is what Gemini file has. So it has a API key that I've already created. So if you guys are interested, let me know. We can create a video on how to create this API key. This is very simple, but we can again see how we can create those. So what I'm doing here is I've taken a title and a description of what I get from my news feed, and I've created a prompt. If you see a prompt, what I've done here is I've just written something like, you are a professional AI news assistant. Summarize the following news articles in three concise bullet points. Keep it under 70 words. So it will be very short, and it will be having uh, most preferable summary over here. So I'll be using Gemini 2.5 Flash model over here. So you can use other models while you are trying to see how it performs, or is it performing better. So this is what we'll be doing on creating a new file. Then I'll have to summarize, right? So let me do this. Let me create a new file in my API. So I'll call it as summarize. So I'll be creating a file here. So inside this, I'll be having this code. So this is again a basic code that we had already done for news route over here. So what I'm doing is I'm just making a post call over here, and you saw last time that I'll be sending title and description, where I'll be getting a response as a summary. So I've also taken care of the error handling. Let's assume an API key failed and it expired. So, or if there is any network failure, so I'm just showing an error over here, so that we know that something has gone wrong. So that is all about this file. So moving ahead, let's go back to my news card, because that is where the main changes will be adding. So if I go back to news card here, right? So if you see the summary part, I've just kept it empty. So this is where all the action happens. So let us fill that summary details. So this is what AI summary looks like. So this is again a simple one. I'm just having a loading screen over here, and API summary. I'm just calling an API here, and this is a post call, and these are the details that I'll be sending, where it will be going to route, and it will be giving me the data. So this is very simple. This is all it does. So once that API call is completed, right, the next thing is we'll have to change our user interface to show that particular option, right? So let me do one thing for that. Um, if the summary is not generated, we'll be able to see the summary details that it couldn't generate over here. And then I've already added AI summary and summarize options over here. Let me do one thing. That summary option, right? The summary that I'm showing over here. Okay, this looks good. Summary looks good. Let me try to add few div components here. So, this is my AI summary looks like now. So let me go back to the page and let me refresh it once. And let's assume I click on AI. So it just loads as it was loading earlier. And let me click on AI summary here and see what happens to this. So what it does behind the screen is it will take my API key of Gemini, and it calls the Gemini 2.5 Flash model that I had shown earlier. And if you see here, I was mentioning about the bullet points, right? So this is what it does. So it completely takes this information and it gives me an entire summary of what this is all about. So if I click on read more here, right, it would ideally take me to a separate page where it will have a lot of information, where it's very hard for us to see what's therein. So instead of doing all those, what we do here is we just click on AI summary here, and it just gives me a whole summary within the same page without me going to another page. So imagine that I'm doing on a mobile phone. So there are so many screens that I'll have to go through or I'll have to traverse. So this will be an easy integration for us. And this is very simple to do or to start with any AI implementations. And this is how the entire AI new summarization looks like. So I hope this entire series made sense to you guys. Let me know if you need any more such videos. So we'll see how to progress and how to see or how to learn together and make this channel successful. So with all this information, I would thank you all for your time coming over here and going through the entire series. And as usual, I would tell, right, please like, subscribe this channel so that we get maximum people seeing this and getting useful information about AI. So that's all for this series. Thank you all. See you on the next series soon. Have a nice day, guys. Bye bye.